Mr. Smit Jani, co-founder, Custom Food Packaging, Canada. With 20 plus years of experience across various markets such as US, Canada, Mexico, Australia, UK, Middle East and India in food and beverage packaging, Mr. Smit is an expert professional and co-founder of Custom Food Packaging, which is among the world's top 20 manufacturers of flexible food and beverage packaging products. He did his bachelor's degree in chemistry from University of Gulf Humber, Ontario, Canada. Mr. Smit Jani is here to address on the topic Market Trends in Food Packaging in Canada. We are privileged to welcome Mr. Smit Jani to the summit at Vibrant Tamilnadu.
It's a great job there. Thank you. First of all, I would like to thank the organizers of Vibrant Tamilnadu, Jagat sir and his team, for providing the opportunity to speak here. It's a great privilege. With this presentation, we have tried to provide a brief snapshot in terms of what Canadian market looks like for an exporter point of view, as well as I have tried to keep it lean in order to have a good amount of time for any questions or any other topics that you would like me to cover at the end of the session. In this particular presentation, we are going to talk about a brief overview about food and packaging market in Canada, identify the opportunities and market size factors that would drive the growth in future for food and packaging industry, as well as the current and upcoming trends for the Canadian market. A brief demographic overview, just for all to understand, in terms of Canada is the world's second largest country in area, with a population of around 33 million. The major business hubs for food and packaging industry lies in Toronto, which is in East Coast, Vancouver in West Coast, and two smaller cities in terms of the sizes, but they are the hub for food innovation, which are Montreal and Quebec City. In Montreal and Quebec City, the majority of people over there are French speaking, where the French food comes from, and the official languages for Canada are French and English both. So any retail packaging that you see across the Canada will have bilingual labeling. Each and everything that is printed in English needs to be printed in French as well. That's one of the law. In terms of overall GDP, Canada's overall GDP is 1.5 trillion, and it's ninth largest economy in the world. 70% of the population of Canada lives within 150 kilometers of US border. So that's a strategic advantage for any exporter from India or anywhere else, that they can easily move the products across the border. And similarly, if anyone is exporting into United States and they want to serve Canadian market, 70% of the population is right near the border. So that's a good strategic advantage. The growing population of Middle East and Asian ethnicities creates big opportunity for food exporters in India. Basically, the spices, the rices, the pulses, grains is coming in Canada in a huge format, in the bulk format, and it's been repackaged. Canada is culturally very different from United States. Having said that, we have CFIA, which is a regulatory body in Canada, Canadian Food Inspection Agencies, equivalent to US FDA. The rules with CFIA are more, I would say, more stricter compared to US FDA as well. Anyone who's looking to export anything to Canada needs to go through the detailed research, even if they are exporting into United States right now, because the laws, the requirements, the regulations are very different compared to United States. Just a note. In terms of how an exporter from outside Canada would see themselves if they are doing a bulk export or a retail-ready packaging export, basically this flowchart shows what to expect and how the distribution of food products would work in Canada. So in Canada, any food product or any product that comes in is cleared by CBSA, which is Canadian Border Security Agency, and the food is inspected by CFIA, which is Canadian Food Inspection Agency. As an exporter, you either deal with a food broker, or you deal with a distributor, or have a Canadian partner who is an importer there. Many large store chains work directly with the manufacturers itself in different countries, and they have their own warehousing where the product directly comes. They are responsible for their customs clearance, their inspections, and everything. And they distribute it within their global chain for the retail packaging. Food brokers usually work with boutique stores, and when I say boutique stores, is within the natural health food industry, and so does the importers. Food brokers usually, I have seen that in Canada, they do work with a large-scale retail chain as well, like Sobeys. You will see Sobeys, Loblaws, Walmart. And for exporters and food manufacturers outside Canada, it is important to have certain certifications, certain level of quality. One of the certifications is HACCP, which is industry recognized everywhere, Hazard and Critical Control Point. SQF is very important to export food in Canada, which is, again, the quality certification, food safe quality. Regulations are, as I said, more stricter compared to what you see in US. We have Canada organic certification. If you are exporting any organic certified food, though you have USDA organic, but Canadian firms would require to be self-certified with Canadian Organic Association. So from the packaging industry perspective, packaging industry is currently at valued at $1 billion in Canadian market. Most common type of packaging used by big box retailers is flexible packaging. Flexible packaging is used for dry goods. And when I say flexible packaging, it covers paper, plastic, other environmental friendly PLAs. Sustainable packaging is most commonly used across the board. There are, recently they have developed oxo-degradable, which is kind of degradable form of packaging where dry goods, your flours, your grains are being packaged. As well as there are different films available for biodegradable packaging as well. Rigid packaging market share is growing with a boost from environmental friendly government policies. So what I've seen in past is even your grains, because they don't want to use plastic bags, they would use glass jars for grains. So stores are now trying to convert into you pick what you want kind of format. So if I go to the store, I get my grains, I fill it in a PET jar, and I come home and I reuse the PET jar. So that's kind of the cultural change that we are looking at in terms of reducing the plastic, creating more sustainable environment, getting more into reusable type of format packaging. Now, even though the rigid packaging has a more higher carbon footprint compared to flexible packaging, which was the best selling point on the flexible packaging side, they are still going to rigid packaging because over the period of time, if you see carbon footprint when you use the rigid packaging 4 or 5 times, that balances the output as well. So that's kind of what we are looking at in terms of the packaging materials and packaging market there. So this is a brief snapshot in terms of what are the opportunities. Again, what I tried to highlight here is the U.S. market share because U.S. is our biggest trade partner. If you see in terms of food preparations, so in terms of food preparations, this is ready to eat, your ethnic food line. U.S. market share is still 80% in there, but the leading competitors are China, India, and Germany. Germany is because Canada's population, if you see Canada's population, there is 19% of Asian population, and remaining population, which is from the European countries. Hence, Germany is the biggest ready-to-eat food provider in Canada itself. The second item here, which I see a very big opportunity for exporters from India, are condiments and sauces. The spices that we bring in there right now, because the consumption in terms of volume is much, much smaller compared to the United States, most of the stuff do come from US. That's the reason you see 81% over there in terms of US market share. So usually what happens is the exporter is exporting in United States, and a part of it comes to Canada as well. So that's where we don't see a leading competitor here, India listed there. Red meats, we have 71% market share from States, and the remaining goes to Australia, New Zealand, and Uruguay. Snack food is another category, which I have seen today, yesterday and today in the show. A lot of our manufacturers here are coming up with real good health food snacks, healthy snacks. So that's one of the biggest opportunity, not just in Canada, but in US as well. Because right now the market trends, they are going more natural, more organic, more healthy alternatives of the food. And this is one of the biggest category where even from my perspective, my clients are looking for new and innovative products. So I think that's where anyone who is getting into the export or anyone who is getting into manufacturing side of the snacking category, they should focus on natural, organic, clean, and healthy items over there. Fresh vegetables usually comes from US and Mexico because of the transit times and the requirement for the imports here. Cacao and cacao preparation. So, for me, it was news that Malaysia was one of the leading producer of the cacao, because for us, it was always South America where we get our cacao from. And recently, the other innovation here in this particular category is reusing the byproducts of cacao. So when we started dealing in cacao products, there is a byproduct called cacao husk, which is now used as cacao husk tea. It's caffeine free, number one, the tea with no caffeine, great health benefits because it's cacao, and it's a byproduct. So usually what manufacturers would do is they throw it away. But now it's being used as tea. It's a chocolate tea. Juices and non-alcoholic beverage. This is the category as well where there is a lot of opportunities to come up with energy drinks, health drinks, clean, natural, organic drinks. Right now, it's just Brazil and China over there with US. This is a brief summary for anyone to understand in terms of if they are launching a product or if they are going with their own product, what would they look for? So consumers in Canada, and this applies to US as well, they will pay a premium for any consumer product goods which addresses more than their core needs and wants. Now, what this means in terms of addressing the core needs and wants. This is basically if I'm buying an over-the-counter product like Tylenol or Advil or something like that, I'm not going to pay a premium price for that because that's just for me to cure my nasal sickness or my temperature. But if there is a product out there in the market which will help you regain your health benefits, including your curing your sickness, then yes, that's something in terms of innovation that someone should look at. Food and beverages. This category is very important because that's what we deal in and out right now. Food and beverages that offers benefits beyond basic nutrition. So if we look at our indigenous products like turmeric, black pepper, cinnamon, those are the products here where it can be infused with a lot of snacks, with a lot of drinks. And this September itself, in the Food Expo West, I'm not sure if anyone has visited Food Expo West, one of the biggest food show in California. Turmeric was branded as one of the best superfood available in the industry. So again, great opportunity there. Household and cleaning products made with natural, clean, organic products without any chemicals. This is very important. We recently surveyed one of the company in India. They came up with the washer sheets, and the washer sheets, which is completely biodegradable, which is clean, natural, and they patented their product in India and gave private label rights to another company in USA. Huge business there, huge business. And environmentally friendly packaging is another part of the puzzle here, because the culture, you won't see much in eastern coast of the US, but you will see more in west coast of US. If you are sending your products to, say, California, Dallas, or in Midwest part, in western side of Chicago, or in Canada, you will see if your packaging is eco-friendly, or if your packaging design is clean, if your labels are clean, there is a great demand for those products as well. Again, the last category over here is anti-aging and beauty care products. So anything that you are trying to innovate or trying to get into business of, healthcare or skin care, cosmetics, anti-aging is a big category there. That's something you should focus on. And again, apart from this category, if it's made from organic products or if it's made from natural products, that's going to be a big hit in coming years. So going back to trends and what's moving and what's not moving right now in terms of food packaging and food products, anything that is, this is specific to packaging, anything that is environmental friendly or eco-friendly, that's going to survive in North American market. Any marketing story that you can build around how the product is made or how you're looking after environment when the product is made. The sustainability of the product, that's kind of something that you should market yourself for, that you should put down on your labels, and it will give you the brand value that you need in the competitive environment for North America as well. The compostability of the product, if it's a cleaning product, it doesn't harm environment. It is made from, again, clean, natural ingredients. That's something that will create a brand value for you. The packaging itself, if the packaging looks as recyclable or reusable, that will help you build the brand. Paper and cardboard-based boxes. A lot of products have been conventionally being packaged in plastic or aluminum containers, are now going onto paper-based or cardboard-based products. This, again, creates a brand for the manufacturer or for the distributor or for the private label owner. And apart from that, it gives credibility to the product itself. The clean and natural looking design. Most of the packaging that we see here in this side of the market has too much information on there. Too much, I would say, colorful designs probably. It's nice to see that. But if you are marketing yourself in North America, as much as possible, refrain from bold colors, refrain from putting too much information that's not required over there. It needs to be easily understandable. You read once and you know what's in it. No chemical jargons over there. Those kind of formats usually do well in the market. Innovation and cost effectiveness does not go hand in hand, but that's what we have seen as successful so far on the packaging side as well. Now, if we talk about food products, what is moving well, and what are the opportunities there? Anything which says free of is kind of a big hit. Free of gluten, that's gluten-free, non-GMO, pesticide-free, or organic. That's kind of the branding themes on the food packaging or with the food itself. That moves very well in the market. Products identifying as wholesome nutrients. So, for example, turmeric latte. So it's just a tea, but it's infused with turmeric. So that enhances the value of the product itself. Those kind of things are usually considered as innovative. They are considered as premium, and they do build a great brand from the product management perspective as well. Anything that classifies as keto or paleo diet. Now, keto diet and paleo diet are considered as low carb foods. So anything that identifies as a low carb food, that works very well, and it needs to be specified as well. A lot of stuff here goes into that category, but it's just the education. It's just understanding the fact and doing the research before putting out the market. Okay, my time is up. And this is the last slide. Organic or clean natural products. That's again, as I said before, vegan products. Canada has probably the largest vegan and vegetarian population. So those type of certifications are required. And again, products with kosher, USDA organic, and eco-cert is kind of considered doing very well. So I did try to put some context here in terms of what you should look at if you are trying to export or getting more information about the exporting to Canada. CFIA, as I said, it's equivalent to USFDA. COG, Canada Organic Growers, this is a agency which implements organic labeling standards. COR, COR, that gives a kosher certification, and EcoCert that defines and certifies the products for sustainable use. And that's pretty much it from me. Again, I'll wrap it up here. Thank you, everyone, for attending this, and thank you, team, for providing this opportunity for me to speak.